guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Zandi and I'm so glad to be sitting down and doing a sit down video. It's been a while. I've been posting and uploading a lot of vlogs, so it's been a while since I did a sit down like this. So welcome back to my channel. If you are new, you are welcome, and if you're not subscribed, please click that button. And if you've been here before, I love you. Thank you for sticking by me. I appreciate you. You know how it is. So yeah, so June just started. May is gone. May was a very special month for me. I learned quite a lot of things. It's Africa month, and for the first time in my life I actually took Africa month seriously. So I was just observing a lot of things and thinking about a lot of things regarding our continent, regarding our country as South Africa. And yeah, so I don't know if you know this, but my dad is Nigerian, my mother is Xhosa. So yeah. And with that, so at least with me, like, I can't say I've had it tough. No, I can't, because I have a South African name. I was born in South Africa, you know. Yeah, but like, I know a lot of people who are immigrants. I know a lot of people who, even if they themselves are not immigrants, but then they have parents who are immigrants, and basically just living that kind of life in South Africa. And something that I wanted to do this month, and I'm so sad that I didn't do it, you know, it's just, I don't know, was to actually speak to immigrants, or people whom I know who their parents are immigrants, and just to speak to them about what the experience is like and what being an immigrant in South Africa entails, you know, like what are the challenges that come with that, or even the advantages that come with that. So if you checked out my last two vlogs, the last two videos that I uploaded, it's when I went to a summit called Breaking Down Borders Africa Youth Summit, and the theme was Reclaim Africa. And one of the things that was spoken about there that really touched my heart was a term called Afrophobia. So the word Afrophobia is used instead of xenophobia, because what has been happening in South Africa is not xenophobia. You know, xenophobia is described as, or rather is defined as, having fear or hatred of the other. But Afrophobia is defined as having fear or hatred of a specific other, which is another black person, or the other being black people. So it's not just xenophobia where it's you have fear or hatred of another culture or another race, but it's us as black people hating other black people just because they're foreign, basically. And this is because if a white person walks in, they're not South African, but they're German, or they're American, or even they're Asian, and it's wow, you know, we're so happy to have them here. We're so interested in who they are, what they're about, what their country's about. But if a black person walks in and they say they're from Ghana, they say they're from Ethiopia, they say they're from, you know, the DRC, all of a sudden it's a type of situation. And it's so unfortunate, but it is reality, right? Like, why does that happen? Why? Anyway, like, I just want to put a disclaimer. Like, I'm not saying that foreigners are all holy and you know, no, I'm not putting them on a pedestal. No, I'm not saying immigrants come here for all the right reasons. No. Some of the stereotypes that come with immigrants is they steal our jobs, they steal our women, they come to sell drugs, you know, all of those things. They don't have the proper documentation. All of those things are true for some immigrants. Yes, you know, wait, no, not like, okay, the whole stealing our jobs and stealing our women thing, I don't know. Like, I just feel like, firstly, a woman is not a car that can be stolen. Like, and what makes you think that she belongs to you? A woman is not a possession, right? So I don't understand it when South African men say foreign men come and they steal their women. I don't know, maybe my mom is stolen goods, guys. You know, so Yeah, and then the whole steal our jobs thing, I feel like, firstly, if we are just being honest with ourselves, the work ethic of foreigners is a whole lot more than our work ethic as South Africans. Foreigners just tend to be a whole lot more hardworking, and this is because, and I'm saying this, it is statistics, and also being exposed to a lot of foreigners, it's something that I have also viewed to be true. This is also because a local and a foreigner can never think the same. A foreigner left their family, they left their land, they left the language that they know, they left everything, to come. So they didn't come for games, they did not come for games, and they don't feel entitled to anything. So ultimately, they are going to be more hardworking than a local person, right? And then the whole documentation thing, even with that, there's a whole situation of South Africa sort of makes it easy for foreigners to come in, and then it makes it difficult for them to stay here or to leave, But I'm not justifying any of that. And the drugs, that's true. That's true. If you want cocaine, I can hook you up. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, all those things are true, guys. That's just a disclaimer I want to put out there. I'm not saying, everything that is being said to foreigners is right. No, it's like it is wrong. I'm not saying everything that is being said about foreigners is incorrect. Some are true, right? But then let's just think of how we were made as creatures, because okay, we are creatures. It's winter right now. I see birds flying to the north, right? And as Africans, we used to roam around all over Africa before the white man came and put borders and colonized us and all of that, right? So as natural beings, as creatures, we were made to migrate, to move around. It's just how nature works. And sometimes it's not because a person wants to leave their country to come and sell drugs here or to come and steal your job. It is because of climate change. There was Cyclone Idai in Mozambique recently. Were those people supposed to stay in their village even though they are dying? There's wars in the Congo, in the DRC. Are those people supposed to stay there and get shot till they die? And even with us here as South Africans, not all of us are from Joburg, but we all migrated to here. We didn't cross borders, but we moved, right? Were you going to stay in your village even though your village doesn't have a university? Where were you going to get an education, right? So migration is something that happens, something that is natural. Now, I get it. It should be done with proper documentation. Sharp. But then now let us put ourselves in the shoes of immigrant kids. We're so rude to them sometimes. My sister has a very long name. Her name is Ngozi Chuku, which means God's blessing. It's a very beautiful name. Now, the name Ngozi Chuku, if you want to shorten it, you can call her Ngozi. But when it's spelled Ngozi, as in danger in Zulu. She's been called danger. She's been called, Ngozi. And why should that happen? Why is it that when a person says why is it that a foreign person always has to justify their name or always has to explain their name, or people get written off just because you can tell that they're foreign? And let us also think about the fact that these kids are growing up in South Africa. There's nothing we can do. They're here already, right? They're growing up here and they basically have no sense of belonging because South Africans just make it so hard for foreigners. So hard for foreigners. And this is not I'm not generalizing or anything. I'm just saying that generally, these people are not happy, right? Foreign nationals are really unhappy, not because they had to leave home, but because they know that they're also not welcome here. When we went to Nigeria, we were treated with special treatment just because we are foreign. And I was so sad because that's not the treatment that foreigners get in South Africa. It's not. And so, it's really sad. It's really unfortunate. Statistics say that two groups of people that have the most mental health issues, the first group is the LGBTQI community, and the second group is immigrants all over the world. You know, if you're an immigrant, then you're generally bound to have mental health issues because they internalize the fact that they don't have a sense of belonging. Right now, if my family was to pack up and go to my dad's country, we still wouldn't feel like we belong because my sister and I were not socialized in Nigeria. We're socialized in South Africa. This is where we grew up, you know. And even though we're here, still there's always that thing, you know, you're here, but wow, my dad, it took so long for my dad to eventually get an ID. And mind you, my dad's papers are all in check. My dad's documentation is like it's proper, right? But it took so long for him to get his documentation, to get his ID. And even with his ID, he still cannot do certain things because it says they're Nigerian. So there's so many things that he can't do because of that. And like there's also institutionalized forms of Afrophobia. You know, there's foreigners can't get bank accounts. They can't. They struggle with that. So how are you going to get paid without... Think about it. How do you live without a bank account? Who's going to pay you cash? How do you get a job that's going to pay you cash? Right? How do you do anything without a bank account? The whole document situation that they always have to go and what do they call it? Like they always have to go get the documents rechecked, and apparently it's after every month. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but they always have to like go to the Pretoria offices to go get the documents restamped or whatever, read that, I don't know. And like these people also, like that whole thing of they steal our jobs. Think of most of the jobs that, let's say for example, a lot of Zimbabweans do. A lot of Zimbabwean ladies are maids and waitresses and whatnot. And the reason why a lot of people hire them is because firstly, they can exploit them. They won't pay them what they're worth, right? And secondly, that person comes and they say, I don't have a bank account. So they're expecting to be paid cash, right? And just because of that, an employer can exploit them. So those are just some of the forms of like institutionalized Afrophobia. And it's really... in varsity, if you are an international student, you have to pay 80% of your varsity fees cash up front. Where do you get 80,000 rand? Like, where do you get that money? Where do you get that money? Because some courses are so expensive, some modules are so expensive. How do you get 80% of that to pay cash? So what, they're not supposed to go to school now? Like, I don't know. I know maybe I'm ranting a bit and maybe I don't sound like some of my information doesn't sound very factual and all of that. But what I'm saying is that we need to do better. We need to treat each other as human beings. Let's just start there. This thing of breaking bricks on people's heads and burning people and stealing all their property just because they were not born here is just not on. And like, it's just not right, man. It's not right. We need to treat each other like human beings. You know, I feel like God created this world for all of us, you know, and even if a person came in illegally, even if a person doesn't have the correct documentation, all of that, but you as a person can at least greet them, can at least protect them when something wrong is being done to them. Like, where is your humanity? Why is it that Ubuntu doesn't include foreigners in this rainbow country of ours, rainbow nation of ours? Why is it that Ubuntu why is it that Ngabantu doesn't apply when we are dealing with foreign nationals? I just don't get it. And like, and it's not just immigrants, it's not just like foreigners that are treated badly. It's the LGBTQI community, it's people with vitiligo, it's people with albinism, it's people that are fat, it's people that are short. Apparently short men don't deserve to have women. Why? They say short girls are for tall men, tall girls are for tall men. You know, like all of those things. Why do we discriminate people based on what they look like, based on the documentation that they have, based on the accent that they have? Why can't people just be people? Why can't I acknowledge you just because you're a person? Oh my goodness, this video is getting too long. But anyway, that's just my take on the whole Afrophobia thing. we just need to do better. We need to treat each other like human beings. That's all. That's all. There's a lady that spoke at that summit. She's a South African living in Rwanda, and the whole Afrophobia thing is not only in South Africa, it happens in other African countries as well. But now it's worse for her as a South African because of how South Africans treat other foreign nationals. And we're making it difficult for South Africans in other countries. You know, we're making it difficult for our kids should they want to go live in other countries, right? So all of those things are really stuff we need to consider, and we just generally need to do better. But anyway, I'm done talking now. This video is a whole lot longer than I wanted it to be, but I talk too much. What's new? Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell me your opinion in the comment section. Tell me where you agree with me in the comment section. Let's keep the conversation going in the comment section. Tell me where you think I'm wrong. Tell me where you think I'm being stereotyped, and so on and so forth. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love you so much. God bless. Bye.